In this video, I'm going to unbox and give you an initial setup and review of the long awaited for Switchbot Curtain. Make sure you stick around, and if you like what you see, hit subscribe below and keep an eye out for more videos. Hi, I'm Will from Surridge Tech, and today we're going to be having a look at the Switchbot Curtain. So in front of me we've got the Switchbot Curtain, which is these ones. We've got the Switchbot solar panel, and we've got a little button, the remote. We've also got this box, which is the kit that they recommend you get if you've got eyelet curtains. So they're the ones with the big eyelets that the pole goes through, and this kit helps with that because your eyelets get stuck and cause a bit of friction, which means the Switchbot sometimes can't get through or pull it far enough. So that's a little accessory kit for that. So let's open one of these boxes. So it's a nice box by Switchbot. Quite like their packaging. Very simple, very effective. Inside we have a user manual, useful. And we have the Switchbot Curtain. Very simple. We've also got a little box with some accessories of various forms. So we've got a little, what looks like a guitar pick. I believe this is to get the arms off the side of the Switchbot if you were to swap it out. We've got 4 of these peg things. These are used for various different things depending on what type of curtain you have. So with an eyelet curtain, they suggest you use these with a little bit of plastic tape, and you join all the eyelets together at a set distance, and that way they don't kind of pull at an angle. Or if your curtain has like tabs at the top, you can put this under the top, and it just means that it glides over the top where the material doesn't. And we also got a power cable. So the Switchbot Curtain comes in different types, 3 different types I believe, or will be soon. So we've got the rod type, which is the one with this little hat, which sits over the top, and you clamp it onto the rod and it will roll up and down. You've got the eye type, which kind of has a different arms on the side, and it slots into your eye track or your U track. Maybe the U track is a different type again. But basically, no matter what type of curtain track you have, there's probably a variation of the Switchbot Curtain to fit it. So the Switchbot itself is this tiny, I say tiny, it's that big. This is the main body of it. It's got on the back a little indicator light, a USB-C charging port, and a power button or reset button. And then it's got a roller on the top, which obviously rolls it along the rail. And then the other part is this part, which is specific to the rod type. If you have a different rail type, then you'll get different side pieces and lids. And it's got a lid which has a couple of rollers to kind of roll along the top. And then these side pieces with the arms that stick up, and the arms are on springs, and there's also a little catch. So to fit it to a curtain, you pull the catch down and push it up, and it rests on the catch, and that helps you know how much tension you need to squeeze the top by to make it clasp onto the curtain itself. So, and they just click onto here on the side, and then the top just pushes down on top. Very simple. As for the features, firstly let's talk about the price. They come in at around £70 to £80, depending on the rail type you want to use. Obviously, you can get multi-pack discounts if you want to. As for the rail types, they can fit on I-rails, U-rails, or even curtain rods, which is very useful, especially here in England. Of course, there's voice control with the Switchbot if you have a Switchbot hub. That opens it up to the internet. Otherwise, control is through Bluetooth. I imagine that's probably not going to be used much for you because you can use the app directly with the Switchbot and set schedules based on time or even light levels. So you can set it to shut the curtains when it gets dark outside, for example. As for power, They have some rechargeable batteries in them, which can be charged by a USB-C cable, or you can buy an additional solar panel, which just clips straight onto the back of the Switchbot Curtain and will keep it charged constantly, so you don't have to worry about it. So I suppose we better install it on the app. Okay, so you can see I've already got one Switchbot installed, but we're going to install another one. The Switchbot Curtain. Start pairing. Long press for 2 seconds. It's flashing and we pair. Very quick indeed. Let's put this in the bedroom. It is on a rod and it is a grommet type curtain. While we're here, let's have a look through the settings on the Switchbot. In our advanced settings, we have our open mode, we have touch and go. Now this is something that I have failed to get to work. In theory, touch and go is where you kind of pull the curtain a bit, it feels the pressure, and then continues the opening or the closing process for you. But in my mind, I've never managed to get that to work. As soon as I pull the curtain, I just end up dragging the Switchbot along. So, not sure whether that's just doesn't work or whether it's just me. Light, I'm guessing, is the lit light on the back. I'm not sure why I'd want to turn that on and off. It's not on at the moment, so odd. Calibration we've been through. Pair with a remote, we'll do that in a minute. Cloud services, I'm not going to do any of them, but you can see that you can connect to Google or Amazon or IFT, for those of you who still have IFT. We've got a log, which obviously there isn't any, but it will tell you when it's been opened and when it's been closed. Firmware and battery, it'll tell you if it's charging or not and the battery level. FAQs and delete. So that is all there is to that. And you can see with this one that I've already got calibrated. Once you're in there, you can open it and close it and move it to a certain percentage away along. And light sensing, I am not convinced by. It might be better. I've got quite a dark alleyway behind where I had this installed, so it might not be getting enough light. And it might also depend on the type of curtain you've got and the type of rail you've got. If your rail is obviously that much higher than the window, then the wall is going to block the light sensor from getting light. And it says it's in beta. But as you can see, my light level hasn't really gone up or down throughout the day or night, so I can't really use that to trigger it. But you could, in theory, set, if it's higher than level 3, then open it. If it's lower than level 4, or below level 3, then close it. That gives you the opportunity to have your curtains opening and closed depending on ambient light settings. We've also got a delay, so you can select to delay a minute and then close it, or delay an hour and then close it. Not sure quite why you'd want that, but there we go. The schedule, that's quite a nice one. You can set the times for it to fully open and fully close and everything. So it's more accurate obviously going by the time than it is going by the light, given the light sensitivity is a bit off. But that's a nice feature to have, the scheduling definitely. And then motion mode, you've got performance and silent. Now performance mode is what you've seen. It's kind of the standard mode. I wouldn't say it's particularly fast, but it's definitely, it does it, it works. Silent mode is a lot slower and as such a lot quieter. But it's a lot weaker as well. So if you've got curtains that are quite heavy, then silent mode probably won't work for you. But if you've got nice light curtains in your bedroom, then you might want silent mode to help, not wake you up in the morning if you want to open your curtains before you wake up. And that is pretty much all there is to the app. Now I've had these Switchbot curtains up and running for a little while now, so I thought I'd let you know how I feel about them a few days down the line, or a few weeks down the line actually. So fundamentally, they're great devices. The app is responsive, it's very easy to use, and it's easy to set up custom schedules, for example. I have to say, the performance limitations when you move on to quiet mode isn't the best. I can see how they'd be great for curtains kind of out of the way where you can't reach them and you end up just leaving them closed due to convenience, but they are quite loud. It is nice to have quiet mode, and it's nice that you can set that for custom parts of the schedule. So maybe you have it quiet to open up in the morning, but back to performance mode when you're not in the room and you don't need the quiet, I suppose. As for strength, as I said, it can't get over bumps in curtain rods very well, especially not big bumps, which is a shame. I'm sure there are various workarounds, including kind of getting another tube that eliminates the bump, or kind of wrapping a bit of plastic around to eliminate the bump. But I haven't done that and haven't been able to do that because aesthetically it doesn't really work for me. Other than that, they can pull lightweight curtains, but they can't pull heavy backed, full length, thick curtains, unfortunately. Now this is the accessory you can get to help you with big, thicker curtains. And what it does is it clips onto the top, and it basically means you've got a standard distance between all of the parts of the curtains. And that means you're not kind of pulling an eyelet at an angle, cutting into the curtain rod, increasing the friction. So they all kind of keep the eyelets perpendicular to the rod, I suppose. So that's a very clever little accessory. Unfortunately, it does look a bit odd and ugly having a bit of plastic sticking out the top of your curtain, holding it at certain distances. There is a workaround to that, of course. You could sew yourself a little cotton thread or fishing line into the curtain to keep them at a separate distance. All in all, it's a great product. It's nice to walk into a room and the curtains to be in a state that they should be in, so you don't have to touch them. It's great for any curtains that are out of reach that you don't end up touching anyway, and they stay open all night because it's nice to have, them closed. The battery life seems to be working well for me. The addition of a solar panel is very clever, and it means I haven't had to touch mine at all since I installed them, which is great. The unfortunate performance limitations of the bumps is a shame, because I really wanted these in a certain room and I can't put them there because of the bumps. And of course, the performance limitation is there with the heavy curtains. But if you have light curtains and you have a different type of rail, or you don't have a bump, or you can move your bump to the middle or cover it up in some other way, then this is a great device and I would highly recommend it. If you'd like to get your hands on any of these Switchbot curtains, then check out the links below and use the promo code to get 10% off your order. So there we go, the Switchbot curtain installed and working. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below and click the bell icon to find out more about my smart tech and how you can build yourself the ultimate smart home.